What can be done about the horrible lack of mental health services? And what can we do?
All right, so let me start with the good news, because there actually is some good news here. With the Affordable Care Act, and actually with some earlier legislation on parity, it is finally the case that there will not be health insurance policies out there that do not cover mental health services. We are finally beginning as a people to say you've got to treat mental health issues the same way you treat all health issues. And that is a step so much in the right direction. The next time someone tells you they want to repeal the Affordable Care Act, ask them about that part in particular. The fact that millions of people are going to get coverage for mental health services is just powerfully important. But the second part that I want to talk about in this, we've got so much more to do. It's about funding having people in public schools, having enough people who are in emergency rooms, about having enough people in community health centers. We're working on it here in Massachusetts. We're making strides, but we're still way behind the need. So this is partly about getting resources to the right place. But the third one I have to mention, this is why we need to double our funding to the NIH and to the NIMH. We need more funding on all health-related issues, but particularly on mental health issues. We are at a moment in the world where we've just kind of got our toes right on the edge of fundamentally changing how we look at mental health issues. Always before, in effect, we had to wait until they manifested themselves, and then you were always trying to deal with symptoms. How do you treat symptoms? Now, the brain science work is advancing so fast. The Genome Project is advancing so fast that we're on the edge of being able to do diagnosis and at least to conceive the idea of real treatment much earlier in the process, before there is so much damage, before there is so much heartbreak. What's holding us back? It's not the science, it's that we're not investing in the science. Today, a young researcher at NIH, NIMH, the odds of getting funded shrink and shrink and shrink. Overall, proposals for funding to NIH to get work done, about 1 in 7 gets funded. I just want you to think about the other 6 out there, about Alzheimer's and autism, about diabetes and cancer. If your family is touched by those things, then your family is touched by the decisions that are being made in Washington to preserve loopholes for billion-dollar corporations, to keep giving subsidies to big corporations so that there's no money left to be able to invest in our future. This is one, you want to know what we can do now? This is why the budget process matters. This is why our voices matter. It goes back to the fundamental point that I make in this book over and over, and that I keep making when I talk to people. The game is rigged. The playing field is tilted. Money and power are concentrated on one end, and they make sure that every rule that gets passed works for them. All we've got on our side are our voices and our votes, and we got to use them, and we got to use them loud. That's how I feel about this one.